Okay, welcome everybody. I have sound settings wrong. Yay! I don't know who won this game. Alright, but while I'm just changing the sound settings, we have a interesting game in a Dota game that's involving there you go, now you got sound. Involving two teams. One is HUYAR is going up against Underrated Gaming, and I'm just incredibly curious as to how UR is playing. That's blatantly while I'm casting this, and I have no qualms whatsoever about saying that, because I used to be the head caster and everything for UR, so I'm a little partial, I'm not gonna lie. However, I have no idea who won this game. This is just in their team matchmaking, so there's absolutely no pre-knowledge about how this has gone. So we have UR versus HUYAR, and let's go ahead and take a look at the draft so far. Right now we do have the first bans from HUYAR being Shadow Demon and Visage, two very strong supports. Visage is especially seeing a lot of attention lately, and that's really nothing to be surprised about. Visage has a lot of good nukes about him and good stuns. He's got multiple stuns with his familiars that he gets at level 6, and Soul Assumption gives him a really nice consistent nuke based on other people's damage. So when he gets paired with people, for example, Keeper of the Light, you're gonna have some incredibly powerful damage just being all of a sudden out there. And if you look at the side of UR, we've got Bat Rider and Lifestealer. So two very strong picks once again. Now this is actually letting out some interesting people. For example, Wisp has actually not been banned, and that is something I want to talk about because he's usually the first pick. There's Wisp, there is Nyx Assassin, and some other very strong supports in those legs, plus Lone Druid is still here, and some very strong picks have been left out of the bans, as Shadow Demon is not quite, he's sometimes a quicker ban, but interestingly we see Sand King picked up. Alright, so we'll probably see Wisp, Keeper of the Light, or something out of UR. That would be something that I would definitely expect in the pro scene with the metagame and all that. But Lifestealer being banned out is something that I actually can respect very greatly, as Lifestealer is a great presence in lane, and he's a very strong carry who's strong at the earlier parts of the game as well. And we do see a Nyx Assassin popping out, so that's going to be something that's very expected, as Nyx is one of the most consistent supports that there is in the game, and he's very well rounded, great nuke, and with not to mention Vendetta hitting and how good that is. The fact he can be invisible and have guaranteed damage, because on level 3 Vendetta does do an additional 500 damage on the hit, and if you build Nyx with a Dagon, he can nuke down just about anybody, especially in heroes. He can really screw over with the fact that he's got mana burn, and if someone tries to attack him, you pop up this Spike Carapace, you stun them, and you can escape. But now we're starting to see the reserve time being put into by UR for the first time, and we'll see who they're picking next. They're picking a lot of time for this next person, but while they're doing that, let's talk about Sand King. Sand King is one of the best team fighters in the entire game. He's got Epicenter. You get a blink in, start the Epicenter channeling, then you blink into the middle of the fight, and you damage everybody with a whole bunch of pulses that are going to be incredibly powerful. But we actually see a Silencer now being picked up by UR. That's a pick that I really like, because one of the best things to shut down, let's say, a Sand King would be to not let him cast Epicenter, because that is the main thing that Sand King really is he is a team fighter. He's got ability to farm actually fairly quickly also with Caustic Finale, and he's got a nice escape with Sandstorm, but really it's that Epicenter and the Burrow Strike. Those are what make the Sand King. You can even actually Epicenter and then Burrow Strike in, or you can use the Burrow Strike as a stun or an escape. All of those are actually very viable, and actually does a decent chunk of damage if I remember correctly. Yeah, it does 280 damage, that's pretty nice, but it's that 2.17 second stun from level 1 on that is really great. The only issue with it is the range early on. As we can see, 350 to 650, but now we're seeing Clockwork coming out from HUYAR, and that's another stable pick by them that I actually kind of like. And by the way, I really do like the Sand King pick. It adds a lot to your team fight. Plus, you can actually be a support or kind of a semi-carry-ish person, so it's good versatility. Doesn't quite tell you exactly what's going on, but the fact that there's a Clockwork now is going to be giving them the opportunity to have a very safe off lane if they're getting the Clockwork in there, because Clockwork can control the lane and farm from afar. He's got the very nice ability to throw down his cogs and battery assault for stunning, and then there's his blanking on the name of it. Wow, it says all new. Yeah, the Rocket Flare. There we go. The Rocket Flare, and that's going to be able to just farm from anywhere on the entire map. So that's kind of nice. Plus, it gives a scouting as a fair amount of vision comes out from it. But HUYAR Bash is now banning out the Gyrocopter. Really strong ban, one of the best carries in the game, and actually, they do what they just reworked Flat Cannon so that it doesn't actually hit familiars, so it's kind of just a fun thing to look at the fact that they've banned both Visage and the counter to Visage, if you want to say that. But UR has banned out Rubik, and that's a very, very, very good thing. Rubik is one of the most mess with you heroes, I like to say, just because of the fact that it's, oh, well, hey, you're gonna impale me and hit me with Vendetta or whatever stuff, well, let's steal that, and then I'll be able to run around and Vendetta you. Or let's say Silencer and his last word. He can steal the last word and shut down a lot of people in lanes. There's some good there's actually good spells to steal right off the bat, and there's just 2 people that have been picked already from UR, not to mention whoever they're planning. But then they also ban out the Puck. The Puck, which is one of the greatest mid laners in the entire game. One of the few people that can really put the hurt onto Queen of Pain, who is, in my opinion, the best in, I don't know, actually no, I won't say the best, but I would say top 3 mid, and there we go. We see right off that, we see the ban of the Queen of Pain, one of my favorite heroes to play as well. Queen of Pain's got a lot of strong nukes, a good amount of mobility, and decent presence almost anywhere on the map because of that blank. So, let's see exactly what's coming up next. We see Keeper of the Lights. We have nice and strong support. But let's take a look at what might be picked now, because we have half the heroes picked. So, Clockwork and Sand King. We've got a nice solid offlaner. We have a most likely a support in the Sand King. So, maybe they're going to start working on going for setting up types of tri-lanes, jungles, or carries. And if we take a look at the fact that Keeper, Silencer, and everything is on the map, we're probably going to want to see some form of, I would just say mostly right-click damage because of that silence. So one of the people that we may end up seeing could be an Animage. An Animage would be a very strong possibility, or maybe even a Doom. It's kind of odd to say Doom, but you know what? You smack a Doom onto that Silencer, and Silencer's not going to be able to cast any of his spells. And I think that actually also shuts down his Glaives of Wisdom. I don't think you can use Glaives of Wisdom if you are silenced and have Doom on you. So that could be a nice pick for them. But there's also the fact that we have a Nyx Assassin who is going for the Swarford Vendetta and everything. So something that could actually really help out is if they go Bounty Hunter, they could even throw Clockwork mid, theoretically. It's if Silencer does go mid, but judging by the ban of Queen of Pain, right now HUYAR Bash is expecting Silencer to be a lane support as opposed to their mid laner. But we could also see a TA. A TA coming mid would be another strong right clicker. We actually have Vengeful Spirit, so then go for another support. And now let's take a look at who UR is going to be picking. And by the way, HUYAR Bash took a long time on that pick as they have 9 seconds left in their reserve time. But now UR. There's no true carry, and as I say that, they pick up Spectre. Spectre is most definitely a strong carry with, once again, a whole lot of map presence. You pop that ult and you can be on any one of those heroes out there. And if you build a Radiance on Spectre, which is one of the best items you can build on a Spectre, you will be damaging everybody, especially those really weak units. For example, Vengeful Spirit and Sand King, if they're not farmed up and everything, they're going to have a little bit less life points. Clockwork may be forced to go a little bit supporty as well later on, and we're going to see HUYAR Bash potentially take a lot of damage if that Spectre does go for a Radiance, but you can also go for a Diffusal Blade. But there we have the mid laner for HUYAR Bash. We're going to have OD, Outworld Devourer, who I think should still be Obsidian Devourer or Obsidian Destroyer. Those are just better names for OD, but we're going to keep calling him OD as that's much simpler. But OD is one of the best commanders for that mid lane, and if we see OD going against Silencer, that's going to be a great mid lane to go ahead and look at. But now we have Clockwork going to be going on the off lane, and Venge and Sand King are going to be a part of a tri lane. So they're going to be able to pick up maybe an Anti-Mage or something, but they have their really hard character going to be coming out next, and that's when we'd be expecting to be banned from UR. They're going to be banning someone in that hard carry slot. I can't imagine doing anything else. And now let's take a look at the lanes for UR. You've got Silencer, who could go mid. Spectre is going to be part of either a very strong support dual lane or even a tri-lane with Keeper and Nyx. That's something that I would really not be surprised about if they just go bottom lane with Keeper, Nyx, and Spectre. So we're probably seeing an off-laner banned by HUYAR Bash and an off-laner picked by UR. And you know who has not been banned or picked yet? That is Darkseer. Darkseer, one of the best team fighters that there really is. And if Darkseer does get picked, I would really not be surprised by UR, and I'd be even more surprised actually if HUYAR Bash doesn't ban it. And we see a Morphling. Oh, they banned Prophet. Okay, well that's got a nice ring to it as well. And I'm getting what is it? I'm yes.
Alright, just so you know, getting bugs. There's rotten food shit in the kitchen, so in the next week could you clean that up?
Yes. Can you?
Like a thorough clean?
Yes. Okay.
So the rest of the apartment looks fine.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Alright, but anyway, so Prophet just got banned. I cannot believe that he just did that. Oh my god, housemates. Oh god, the housemate. So there's Lich. There's going to be another support for them, and actually the Lich could also be the mid laners. We're part of Silencer or Lich being on the mid lane, and this kind of makes me curious about what's going to be happening in. Actually, you know what? We might have Lich as a solo off lane. And then Silencer mid, and then we'll have the tri-lane of Nyx, Keeper, and Spectre. And there is that hard carry that we're going to see from HUYAR Bash. It is going to be the Alchemist. So Alchemist does get picked up, and we're going to have... I'm going to go through all the people that are playing. Once we get into the game, we can actually see everything. So here we have a lot of people that are just popping into the game really quickly, which I actually kind of like, as opposed to like the one person that's hanging off. But that's really neither here nor there. Actually, we have 2 smokes already picked up, so you might see UR picking up as 5 to move on. And oh, look at that! They got the raccoon or badger or whatever that is. I think it's a badger. Looks like badger, mushroom. But let's take a look at the lanes. We have Wanga. I can't believe I still selected the courier. Oh, Vanga. It's V, not a thing. But Vanga is going to be the Sand King going top with Vengeful Spirit as Dr. Topper. And Rafa's going to be the Alchemist up top. So we do have the tri-lane there. In mid, we do have OD. It is going to be Bigus Lavabas who's going to be taking that lane. And Clockwork will be the off laner. And oh, actually, we might have some trouble for Lich, who is indeed going to be the off laner for UR. Kafar is going to have to be really careful right now. Bro Strike, though, very short range, so he might be okay. Mid, we do have the Silencer, and that does mean we have the Keeper, the Nyx, and the Spectre, and the tri-lane on the bottom. So that's going to be a nice bit of farm going towards that Spectre. Nyx and Kyle is going to be a great combination. Nyx is going to be able to stun with the Impale most likely, or harass with the Mana Burn on top of this Clockwork, prevent the Clockwork from being able to cast down those cogs. But where are the wards? We have 1 ward out for UR here on this rune spot. Who's carrying the wards? I don't know why I selected Spectre, but there's actually the wards. Keeper throws down his 2nd ward up here. Wants to make sure that it's in a good party, and that is a lot of battle points for these guys. This was team matchmaking, so it is an option, and making sure that there is no type of warding on this camp. So Sentry does get popped down, and Alchemist actually has got some cool items. I like this. Cool, rare Ogre Mask and Saddle. That's kind of fun. Alright, so that's kind of nice for us to see, but now we're going to have Kafar moving up the lane, and we're going to see him just try and get some last hits, and we do already have OD getting the first last hit of the entire game, so congratulations to you, Bigus Lavabas. I might just call you boss. But there's Sand King going to try and get a little bit of a setup, at least force Lich off of getting experience on that lane. We have the first Grievel's Greed in there for Alchemist, and there's a stun down here. This actually could be really bad, but luckily there's no unstable concoction, but there is the magic missile from Vengeful Spirit, and Kafar is going to be moving down, and he barely gets to safety. He does pop that salve, but that is a nice healthy bit of harassment that he has now taken. Alright, so now Inuyasha is going to be the silencer. I don't think I actually went through the UR people, but Inuyasha is going to be the silencer. He actually already has his glaives up and is using them to harass and actually get last hits as well. 15 mana that's costing is going to be a little bit of an expensive thing, but he's managing to get some nice, wow, some nice denies actually under the tower and everything. But he's going to go for a nice bottle build, and he actually chose to get the mental intelligence just for that little bit of extra damage that he could do. And there's actually a nice harassment. Last word thrown onto that OD. And we're actually going to have the Clockwork come in with this flare. I can see on the mini-map. Unless it's going all the way across the map. Oh, wow. That accomplished absolutely nothing. Okay. But Lich just moving forward. Ooh, careful. There is the Venge right there. I think he just wants to mess up the pull. You see there was trying to be a pull through from all of those guys. So Lich does do a great job of messing up that timing. Nicely done over there. So that does mean the creep wave is going to go back up to the tower and come down and allow Lich to get some more experience. It's not going to be very hard for Lich to get last hits, but Lich does have 2. But there we have another stun. Unstable Concoction is actually over there, and he's going to throw the brew, and that's going to be really bad for Lich. We should see our first blood here, and it goes to the Alchemist. That is a very good kill from Rafa. So first kill does go to the Alchemist up top. That is exactly what they want. If you take a look at mid and see how Silencer is doing, Silencer level 3, they are identical in terms of where they are in terms of experience. If you take a look at the last hits though, OD is sitting at 6 for 5 and we have 7 for 4, so still pretty much even, but Silencer's doing a nice bit of damage here in this mid lane. Not going to be able to kill him off, but good harassment. Only Tangos are left. And the bottle should be on the way in the courier. Is that? Yep, the bottle's on the courier. So there we have on the bottom lane, we have Junto being... Juntao. It's like, what's it called? Rush Hour. Juntao. Alright, so Clockwork's on level 2 though, so that's a little bit of a frustration for him. Some nice pulling is happening here from the Coddle as well as the Nyx Assassin, so Flash and Dana is doing quite well. But ooh, Crude World is being forced to pop over that salve, and Clockwork wanted to harass them a little bit, but not much health for Clockwork either. The Stout Shield's going to help him a little bit. But Spectre's got that Quelling Blade, doing a nice job of last hitting. As you can see, he's at the top, 12 for 6 right now, at top for both CS as well as the denies. But there we hear the cogs going down, and nice bit of damage. Good escape there. That was with just a little bit of special dagger as well. But OD is going to be in a... Is he in a little bit of trouble? Yes, but not so much. He's not going to be able to regenerate with his bottle that he does now have. Nice attacking going up there. But let's think about where Lich is in comparison to Clockwork. Clockwork right now is 2.5. Lich is level 4.5. Much better on that Lich. The offlane is definitely being won by UR. And as far as Spectre's farm goes, 17 for 10. The next is actually UR. Alk is at 12 for 3 right now. Not doing as much as he could with the last hitting. And it looks like he's building into a hand of Midas. So he is going super farm. Absolutely crazy amounts of farm. As the Gloves of Haste is 500. The Recipe's 1400. So he's literally 250 or so away from getting that hand of Midas up. And that's going to help him a lot. It's also going to give him reliable gold. That's something that people can kind of not estimate, I shouldn't say just underestimate the fact that it is going to be a reliable gold, so you don't lose it if you die. Alright, so now we're going to have Clockwork still at 2 3/4, not doing so well, but we're having a rotation coming down here from Vengeful Spirit as well as Sand King. Sand King, who is very, very low, and Venge just took a little last hit for herself as the first time for her. Nyx Assassin's getting some last hits now, 7 for 3. Not quite be able to get that one from the tower, but this rotation from Sand King and Venge not accomplishing too much, but Silencer was forced to walk back, and that's probably mostly due to the Bottle Crow nerf and the fact that the Courier does take a little bit less time or it takes more time, sorry, to bring the bottle back when it is empty, or just move in general when the bottle is empty. But Alchemist is getting a nice little stun off now, as Lich is still far enough away that he should still be okay. Especially the fact that Venge is only level 3.5, there is no nether swap for Vengeful Spirit, so no types of switching around for her. But ooh, nice damage from Lich, good harassment on that Sand King. And Alchemist, though, he's at 18 last hits now, Spectre at 24. Nicely done. And if we take a look at the Where is the current net worth? There we go. Net worth is still much higher for Alchemist than anybody else. That's just because of the fact that we see the most greedy build possible out of Alchemist. Unless, actually, the only way it could be greedier is if he actually threw those points into Acid Spray and then still went into the farm. But that is the Hand of Midas 4. Then there we see it popping in. That's gonna be a lot of experience as well as gold. And we have a pause. That's a little bit unfortunate. But that's okay. Everything is perfectly fine. Let's take a look at the states of the items for everybody. Spectre here, Quelling Blade, Bracer, Boots, Salve, as well as the Iron Branch. So, decent farm starting out, 1800 net worth. Still fine. It's 6 minutes into the game. 28 last hits. Definitely on pace to hit at the very minimum 50 before a 10-minute mark. Looks like Lich actually had a little bit of a DC, and Lich is reconnected now, so that's good. And we are watching the buckler going to be made from him. So Lich is going to be creating that mechanism for the team, which means Keeper of the Light will not have to. So very curious to see what Keeper of the Light is going to be building. He actually has enough to get his boots up, so I'll be expecting those boots to come up fairly shortly. Nyx is sitting at with the smoke still, so we could see a nice little gank out from Nyx, but Nyx is still away from that vendetta. But a nice just coddle blasting going out. Shock's gonna be able to use soon to get another illuminate out, and this is a nice little bit of farm that's coming in for Keeper, and that's really allowing Spectre, who's already hit level 6, to be in a very nice position in terms of farming and everything. And there we see one more layer hit, and we're gonna wait for 2 shots from the tower, and then last hit, nicely done there. And now Venge has actually just gotten a smoke, so we're probably going to see a little bit of rotation coming out from Venge shortly. The courier is just bringing that over to her as we speak. OD, it looks like he's got an invisibility rune. So nice actually rune control. I've been watching a little bit. OD was also able to pick up a regen rune earlier, so things are looking to be pretty strong over there. There's another kill somewhere. Who died? Someone died. Someone died before. Or did someone die to creeps? There's 2 kills there, but I don't remember seeing any. Who died? Looks like Silencer actually died in mid, and Venge got the kill. So maybe that. So it looks like actually that rotation mid did get a kill. I completely missed that. I'm sorry. I also should mention that I'm very out of practice when it comes to casting. I haven't really casted in, say, 8 months, so let's see how this goes. And plus, last time I really casted was StarCraft 2 a bunch of times. So I'm working on it. This is quite fun, but there we're going to see Astral Imprisonment down on the Silencer. Silencer's actually going to be in a really tough spot. We see a Curse going down, and then, oh, the Lich ulti is going to pop forward. That's going to be the death of OD, and there we have just 3 kills just now down as death there, and death there. Really great rotation by Lich, landing a perfect ultimate, and that's going to be wonderful. It's going to give Silencer a little bit more space, not to mention the fact that we now have 6 intelligence that has been stolen, and that is something that Silencer loves to get, is that intelligence. But Lich is now here sitting on the top lane. Alchemist is still looking pretty with his farm, with that 1 kill on him. So it looks like he was the one who was able to get that first blood. Remember that, because that was an extra 200 plus gold for him. So, Lich is getting a couple last hits still. 21 last hits, actually, for an off-lane Lich is still pretty decent. And Silencer's going to be the one to get the rune this time with a DD. That could be very, very risky for OD, who has actually not been able to get that many Astral Imprisonments, I don't think, on this Silencer. Silencer is sitting in a very nice intelligence position at 59. There we see the last word thrown down. That is going to be enough to kill DD rune. Is the DD does now get used, but a little bit late. One more attack and it would have been a dead OD. But a couple rounds of the bottles can actually help OD to get that done. And right now we're just sitting in a very nice little farming position. Clockwork is still not even close to level 6. He's not at level 5 yet. 8 last hits, but no deaths. And that's something that we can still say is a pretty decent spot, as we do see the death of that OD. Nyx does get that, especially off of the very nice use of Vendetta. It's going to help Nyx out a lot. And there's going to be the death over there. And we're going to have Sand King getting the kill on that Lich. You have the Coddle here. Is actually in a little bit of a rough spot, but you know he's right on the tower, and that's why Alchemist could not continue going there. But with that ult, we're going to see a nice bit of regeneration. And where is Spectre going to be going? Is Spectre going to be going somewhere? He goes right up here to the top lane. We do have a very, very damaged Sand King with only 10 seconds of his Sandstorm there. And there he does go down, TP out, he will be safe, and that was a close one. There is that phase boots down here for that Spectre, so that is a wonderful little bit of movement speed bonus for Spectre, allowing for the chase, especially with the fact that that special dagger is going to be really helpful for that. But there's a silencer moving forward, nothing in the bottle, full bottle for OD, so that's pretty nice. And oh, Clockwork just died. Lich got the kill on Clockwork using the ult, so probably just a simple nuke there, so that's really, really nice for him. Not so nice for Clockwork though, who is still just trailing along at the end of everybody. I don't think... Oh, Venge is actually still level 5 too, and Sand King's also level 5, so there's a lot of people who are just sitting at level 5, almost at their 6, but there is actually the death of OD, a good rotation coming down here from Keeper and Nyx, allowing that kill to happen, and now we have 8 intelligence having been stolen by that Silencer, even though he did not get the assist on that kill, I don't think. I think he already had 2 from before. But Sand King and Venge are now smoked up, and they might be able to find this Lich going up top. We have the reveal, but oh, they go right, Lich goes left, so it's not going to work out so well. Wasted smoke, but now we have 3 on bottom lane, and nope, there's nobody down here for you guys to kill. However, Spectre is being very aware of this issue. Top tower is just denied by Nyx Assassin. Nicely done there. But they're waiting to get in. There is no... Is there level 6? Oh, there's the cogs down there locking in the Spectre. No 6, so there's no swap out there for that Venge. Spectre is running forward. The phase boots doing a great job, especially in conjunction with those drums, to allow for them to move forward. And then we're going to have another level... No, still just 20 seconds of Sandstorm down there. So that's going to be a little bit of a vulnerability. The ult for Spectre is up. So if we do see this trying to... The Sand King getting cursed as well. Sand King, I cannot imagine. Yep, there we go. Not going to be able to live. Does die, but we have Alchemist doing a nice job of farming. We see the 26 bonus gold for him up top. And he's going to get a couple more last hits. Hits the max on there. 57 last hits. Very nicely farming in this area. So let's just see the kills. Lich has actually gotten 3 kills sitting at the top of the board. Nicely done, but look at the top 4 people. They do belong to UR. UR is in a good position. 8-3, 12 minutes into the game. Nicely paced game for them as they're moving along. As there's Alchemist now in the jungle, just trying to get some safe farm. Kind of interesting that he actually attacked the small ones first. I guess he just wanted to get the bonus gold up, as opposed to timing it so he kills them all at similar times by attacking the Elder Wild... I think it's Elder Wildkin. I don't know, it's the big Wildkin, and then going for the small ones last, and then they all get paired up a little bit sooner. But Venge and Sand King are here, trying to get a kill in mid. There is this... Oh, that Clockwork, it might be the initiation. No. But still no level 6 down there. Let's take a look at the hero levels for everybody. That is not what I wanted to do. There we go. There's the hero levels. 10, 10. Alka's going to get 9, but it looks like they are... right now, HUYAR is really trying to get... or I guess I could say HUYAR bash. But there we have the... Actually, I'm going to stop talking about stuff because we have the OD popping forward. We do have a nice bit of attack going down, and there is the death of that. Oh, God, Sansa got a nice kill on that one. The Sand King did go down, and OD is looking a little bit vulnerable, but there's no last word or anything. But there's a haste, and oh, Clockwork trying to get that little initiation from the hook. That's not going to go so well. Not at all. Just as he gets level 6, tries to make use of it, and so close to going down. But Dyer's doing a good job of shutting down the runes there at the bottom ward spot. So Nyx is moving down. It looks like we've got a little bit of deal running going on there in mid as well. Spectre is farming nicely. It just hits level 11. And I like the build that we see Spectre doing. 4 in Special Dagger, and then 4 in Desolate. The Desolate is a nice little just bonus to just attack them. It's really, really nice. In addition, it's really... I'm sorry, it's been a long time since I've casted him. Not speaking as well as I normally would when I was casting. But it's a nice addition. It works very well in synergy with the Ultimate Spectre because it allows Spectre to literally attack everybody. But there we have Alk using the Shadow Blade to get the... Oh, stun! He's not going to be able to... Ooh, almost actually able to deny himself with Unstable Concoction just exploding everywhere. Death to the OD. 14-3. Yikes, HUYAR Bash is not doing so well at the moment. That is really unfortunate for him. Alright, so now this middle lane, this top lane is actually just pretty much even, but there we see the pushing in the mid. There's a nice bit of damage going on. Keeper just sending a blast out there just to be annoying. But Clockwork doing a nice bit of damage actually to Spectre. 2600, it looks like we could be seeing Spectre going for that Radiance build. UR is after all in a great position. I mean, 15 minutes in, 14 kills, 2600 after drums as well as a phase boost, but there we see Clockwork suiciding into that lane, and we could just see the Sun. Sand King gets a kill on, or Vengeance got the kill there on Nyx, but there's a death of Sand King. An additional two intelligence has been taken by Silencers. That's actually a really nice little move there. So with this, Alchemist is going to get hit. There's the curse. A lot of damage be done to him. If Alk goes down, that'll be a huge loss, and Alk does go down. Really good kill for Inuyasha on that Silencer. Now we have 18 to 4. Nyx was the only one to go down, and GG just got called. So that is a very commanding win actually for UR. Two people have already disconnected. GG, and we have a victory going to them even before the Spectre was able to even build the Sacred Relic, let alone the Radiance. So UR takes a very nice victory. Let's wait for the last people to DC, but OD is still running around. I hear an Epicenter. Wow, that is... Alright, well, Alex is going to disappear in OD. Not quite sure what OD is doing. He's hanging out. There is the DC, and that is gonna be the game. So UR will go ahead and take that victory. Very well done by them, as HUYAR Bash puts up a good fight, but just not quite enough. And I think the net worth and everything's going to not be relevant anymore now that the game is done. Yeah, because Alex definitely not 337. Very nicely done by everybody. Lich ends up getting the most kills, and no deaths on that Spectre. Very nice job there. There's that mass silence, and there we're going to have a little glitch. It's not going to the ancient, but there's the game. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. UR played very well, and I was very happy to be able to see them do just that. So guys, if you want, you can go to urgaming.net. That is a site for underrated gaming. Show them some appreciation, as this was just a team matchmaking game, and it worked out very well. Keep for the life and managed not to die, so very well done. Thank you all for watching. I will say